going on, everybody? It's your boy Zamboni. I am an herbalist and astrologer, and it's time to talk about the astrology of the week ahead. So, of course, as always, make sure to check out thealchemistkitchen.com. Use the discount code ZamboniFunk for 10% off anything in store or online. Thank you so much to everybody who sends tips, to everybody who shows up on Patreon, where I do not only astro basics, but I also do the sort of magic basics as well, like how to best use the astrology and how to use the power of your own mind to make the world a better place. So thank you so much to everybody who does that. Without further ado, let's talk about the astrology of the week ahead. So this one, this one's pretty good. I'm pretty excited about this one. I like delivering good news. I feel like I haven't done that very often, and this one's going to be kind of fun. So first, immediately we have the new moon in Aries, and so the new moon in Aries. This is so we've got the sun exalted in Aries, right? And the sun is here with the moon, of course. That's what when the sun and moon are together, that's what a new moon is. And then we also have Mercury here. We also have Venus here. And so Venus is going to add a little bit of benevolence. Now, this is not like our favorite Venus, right? This is Venus, fish out of water, right? This is Venus sort of like in exile, not really knowing what to do. This is Venus in a Mars sign, right? And so when we think about these things, we can think about how the sun is so very excited to do me, to shine brightly in the world and all these kinds of things, right? And Venus is going to sort of feed into that. We tend to think of Venus as being connective, as being sort of interested in the other and putting things together, harmony, togetherness, agreement, that kind of thing. But having Venus in Aries, this is very just feeding the sun. This is how very pleasurable it is for me to do me. This isn't a super let's do it together, or this isn't a super connective kind of new moon. This isn't, if we're thinking about the new moon, it's not just today, but it's kind of the cycle of the month that is to come. And so this isn't super about us in the way that Venus can be, right? This is very much about sort of coming out and doing my own thing, being independent in some kind of way. Aries is very strongly about the independence, right? There's this image of there's this decanic image of a man with an axe that is associated with Aries, and this axe is very much about chopping off the umbilical cord, for example, and being independent out here in the world. I'm going to be me and do me. And so this is a really strong new moon, which has a lot of potential to do this kind of stuff. And so, if you have goals of your own, if you have your own individual things that you're excited about doing, then this is a really great new moon to get these kinds of things started. Maybe shy away from trying to start a new relationship during this time, or maybe shy away from beginning anything that requires partnership or something like that, right? This is very much about me. What am I going to do for me? What if no one else in the world was going to save me and I had to save myself? What if I had to get up on my own 2 feet and handle my own business? This is very good for that sort of thing, and sort of being big and shining bright in the world. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine, right? And so I like this new moon. I think that it's going to be fun. I tend towards self-reliance myself, and so this is a cute look for me. But we've got Mercury here in Aries as well, and Mercury rules Gemini. Mars is in Gemini, and so we've got this and Mars was ruling Aries, so we've got this nice mutual reception moment going on here. Mars is ruling the new moon. This is really there's a lot of potential here, and there's a lot of ability to express oneself in an independent and clear and decisive manner. So this one's looking pretty good as far as I'm concerned, as long as you're into doing me, right? As long as you're not trying to do anything too connective. But the good news here is later on in the week, Venus is going to move out of Aries. Venus is going to move into Taurus. Now this is Venus. This is a fish in water. This is Venus in her home sign. This is Venus able to do all of the Venus things that Venus really loves. Now this, of course, is not our favorite Venus, because we've got an overcoming square from Saturn. And Saturn is going to sort of put a damper on some of that Venus stuff. Venus is going to be ooh, yes, pleasure. And Saturn's going to be did you do your work? you know, and so there's a lot of accountability that wants to show up here. Not just the super pleasurable Venus in Taurus, like, it tastes so delicious. It's not just that, right? Although we can get delicious, but usually with Saturn here indicating delays of some sort, there's something like it takes a while to get there. There's some kind of difficulty in order to arrive at delicious. But still, we're looking at delicious, and we're looking at some kind of sustained feeling here as well, because Taurus is a fixed sign, Aquarius is a fixed sign, and so we're looking at, Saturn is in Aquarius, right? And so there's something here that it really feels like building toward the long term. And so any kind of connection that we want to do, like once Venus moves into Taurus later in the week, then we're going to have this opportunity to really sort of move in the direction of connection, of togetherness, of accord and harmony, and all of these kinds of, like, we're working together, this kind of stuff, but really looking toward the long haul, working together for a long time in order to get something delicious and magnificent out of it. So I'm pretty excited about Venus and Taurus. We can always use a little bit more pleasure in our lives and our situation. You know, there's been a lot of like discord and disruption in the skies and all this, and so it's nice to have a moment here of like something feels good, something feels delicious, or soft, or like just feels good on the flesh, or to be in a body feels really good when Venus is in Taurus. And so even with Saturn there sort of causing trouble and maybe making things slower or whatever, this still feels hopeful and helpful. The other thing that's really great about this week is we get Mars in Gemini making an exact trine to Jupiter in Aquarius. And so Mars in Gemini has been in a friendly aspect to Saturn and Jupiter for a few weeks now. And this is our most good that we can get out of this. Like the Mars here, Mars in Gemini has a lot of, it can be a little anxious sometimes. It can be, Gemini being a sign that is associated with head stuff, with thoughts and words and that sort of thing. Put Mars in that sign, and then we're talking about maybe angry words or anxious thoughts, overthinking, this kind of stuff, right? But we've got this nice mutual reception with Mercury, right? So things are working a little more smoothly than we might otherwise expect. And then we've also got this really nice trine to Jupiter. And so Jupiter is the greater benefic. Jupiter is the one that wants to make things better, bigger, abundance, joy, harmony. Maybe not, harmony is maybe a little more associated with Venus, although Jupiter is like happy for that. Jupiter is like merriment, there's something, it feels a little bit like wise, or like the stuff just kind of works a little smoothly here. And so to have Mars in this position, Mars is trying to get shit done, right? Mars is trying to handle business, do stuff. Mars is ruling this new moon, right? So the new moon is out here trying to like chop it up and handle the business and do all the stuff, right? And Mars is in this really nice aspect to Jupiter. And so this feels really like it's not, like Mars can tend toward meanness sometimes. Mars can be kind of like short or brusque in some kind of way. But Jupiter here really sort of gives us a little softer edge. It's like maybe we don't need to be a dick about it. Like we can be nice and productive at the same time. This feels a little bit like a win-win situation, right? Jupiter is in a good position. Mars is in a good position. They're helping each other. Mercury is also here making a sextile to these, right? So the Sun and Mercury are going to make a sextile to both Jupiter on the one side and Mars on the other side. And so this feels really like working together. This really feels like everybody is happy at the end of the day. And so there's really a lot that is possible here this week. I feel like last week was so emotional, right? There was all this like Mercury Chiron, there's like a lot of crying and like difficult emotions that came up last week. Maybe that was just me, but I don't think it was. And so there's like there's a kind of churning that really felt like last week. Whereas this week, we're really moving into like a certain kind of harmonious togetherness. Cooperation is really strongly indicated here, especially since by the time this aspect perfects, then we're going to get Venus and Taurus at the same time. So we've got this really nice Venus connective, like putting it together, as well as Mars and Jupiter working together alongside Mercury and the Sun. It's just like everybody is really able to work together in a really cooperative, helpful, when this really speaks to that Robin Wall Kimmerer quote, all flourishing is mutual, right? This really feels like mutual flourishing in a really big kind of way. And so if you have these kinds of projects where you want to get people together, maybe earlier in the week is not the wave, right? But later in the week, once we've got some of this more connective stuff going on, then there's a good wave to ride there. And so I'm pretty looking forward to it. I think that it's going to be a pretty good, productive, cooperative week. Of course, this doesn't mean that like no problems happen or anything like this, but the problems feel solvable. In a way that many of the problems have felt wicked for year and a half, 2 years, whatever. And so this really feels solution oriented, and like things are there. It feels hopeful, like there's possibility here. And so I'm pretty feeling it. So yeah, that's what's going on this week. If you want to work a little deeper with this, if you want some like specific times to launch your project or anything like that, I do all that on Patreon. You can find specific times there. You can find instructions as to how to work this a little more deeply. We're in the process of doing a practicum course there, where we're there. It's very much about how to use all the stuff that is here in a practical way in order to live our best lives and create the world that we want to live in. And so check me out on Patreon. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for watching this long and all of this. I really appreciate all y'all. I so appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for like being loud in the comment section, for telling your friends, for all of the things. I just really feel so loved when you send the tips and all these kinds of things, and just tell me how you're feeling about stuff. So thank you so much. Thank you for including me in your community, and thank you for rocking with me. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.